Hello and welcome to the Saved by Grace podcast, and today we're talking about how to avoid holiday stress. But first, hello, I'm your host Ava, and as you heard from today's intro, today we are talking about holiday stress and how to avoid that. So grab yourself a cup of hot cocoa and a cozy blanket and settle in as we discuss how to not be stressed during the holidays. So, as I was looking up information for today's podcast, I stumbled across this article on Google which says nearly 9 out of 10 US adults suffer from holiday stress. So, you're definitely not the only one that struggles with this. Let's start with one of the places that I know people can get stressed out about: your home. With the Christmas lights you have to put up, and the decorations, and the Christmas tree, and the parties you have to do, and the cleaning, and now you're hosting Christmas. I mean, aren't you stressed out? I know I would be. So here's some ways to not be so stressed out about your home during the holidays. I personally like to have a schedule, but I know not everybody's like that. So have a set day set aside to get the Christmas lights up. If they get done before that set day, great. And if they don't have that day specifically to do that task, it will make things a lot less overwhelming. Now, if you're anything like my family, you always end up hosting Christmas at your house because you have, quote unquote, the biggest house out of everyone in the family. Don't even get me started on that. I think smaller houses still could host, but that's not what we're talking about today. So now we're stuck cleaning our house to perfection, like it's that perfect Pinterest house. Let me just start by saying no one's house looks like that, especially if you have kids. Now let's get into the tips and the tricks. Don't clean everything. But no, I'm serious. Don't clean everything in your house. Only clean the things that the people in your house coming over are going to see. Which means if no one's going to be upstairs, then don't clean upstairs. All it's adding is adding more things to do during an already really busy season. Another trick I love, and surprisingly not everybody uses this one, so what? But split up the meals that people are making for the holiday meal. And maybe if you're being hosted at someone's house, you bring more of the food because they've already had to clean their home for you to come over and put lights on the house and a Christmas tree up and try to make it really special. Because I know when my mom hosts, she really feels the need to make sure everyone's holiday is really, really special, and it always is. So, good job, Mom. Also, if everyone has a big enough space to host, rotate holidays, especially if you also do Thanksgiving. Maybe one of you do Thanksgiving, one of you do Christmas, and go back and forth. Or just rotate houses on who is going to host for the holidays that year. Moving along to another category now, which is kind of a hard one to talk about, but we need to talk about it because I think it's important. Money. Now, some of us are fortunate enough to have lots of money to spend during the holidays, and some of us are not so fortunate. And no matter where you fall this Christmas, it's truly about the thought that counts. And I know a lot of us can get stressed out because we don't have much to spend for the holidays. And I wish that I could give you a tip that would make you have all the money in the world, but unfortunately, I do not. But what I can tell you is that a handmade card with a sweet note is one of the best gifts that someone could get for Christmas. Remember the story where the wife sells her watch to get her husband the case for his harmonica, and the husband sells his harmonica to get her a new watch band for her watch. So they give up the only thing of value that they have for each other so they can get something for each other for Christmas. But at the end of the day, what they realized that they needed for Christmas was each other. And yes, this story is super sappy, and of course it has a happy ending, but it's true. So if you're doing a thrifted Christmas or a Facebook Marketplace Christmas, don't let anybody shame you for that. Moving right along to holiday fun. There's so many fun things to do during the holidays that it can get so overwhelming. So, my family just started doing this thing this Christmas that has changed the game for us, and it's sitting down before the holidays start, which I know that this video is really late, but do this next year or start it right now. There's still a couple days until Christmas. But sitting down with your family and asking everyone one thing that they have to do for Christmas, because without this, it wouldn't feel like Christmas. For example, mine was seeing Christmas lights. It doesn't feel like Christmas to me if we're not seeing Christmas lights. So have everyone take a turn and pick one thing. My brother said watching Christmas movies. And when everyone picks one thing, then you can X out the things that you don't need to do because no one wants to do it. I'm just going to say it always helps to have a schedule, but I know, again, not everyone's like that, but I do recommend you have one. Another thing my family started doing this Christmas is how can we prioritize Jesus, because he is the reason for this season. And my family went to a live nativity and we served somewhere this Christmas. Reading through this Christmas story. Anyway, I think that it's a great way to sit down and ask your family, how can we prioritize Jesus this Christmas? Also, setting aside some days, on the weekends that you're doing family things. That way you know you're doing your holiday family things this Christmas. Moving along now to another category, traveling. By car or by plane, it still sucks either way. But we're trying to make it suck a little less, so here are some tips and tricks for that. Have a packing list. I know, you have to be that type A person sometimes. You have to be that type A person sometimes. Having a packing list for you and your young children is going to make it so much easier. How many nights are you staying there? You're staying there 4 nights. You're going to need 2 sets of pajamas, 4 t-shirts, maybe a fancier outfit for Christmas, dinner, or whatever. And if you have older kids, have them make their own packing list and pack it themselves. And then check off the items when you put them in your suitcase. It can be a pen and paper list or a digital list. I prefer a digital list because it's right on my phone, so it's easier to go open that up than it is to go find a piece of paper and check it off the list. Booking your flight way earlier than you're actually going to probably need, like let's say July. I've never been to an airport in my life, so I don't even know if you can book flights that early, but if you can, I would book it as early as you can. That way you know you're going to have a better chance of getting on a flight. And I know, of course, weather can add to multiple different reasons of why you might not be able to make it to your destination, but that will definitely help to book it earlier. Bring snacks and things to do either on the plane or in the car. Nobody likes being hangy. Wow. Nobody likes being hangry or bored, especially if you have little ones. So having some of their favorite snacks and something to do will definitely help, and it will definitely make for a more quiet trip, which we all want. Also, like, don't be afraid to, like, have them have screen time. Like, CoComelon is sometimes a lifesaver. Just saying. Now for my last category. The best way to avoid stress this holiday season is read your Bible. Because something that really helped me with holiday stress is reading verses about being anxious and about stress. God wouldn't want you to be stressed out during the holidays. He wants you to spend time with your family and those who you love. It's a time to be joyful and not to be stressed. So if you are feeling stressed out, I recommend reading a devotional from your Bible app. I recommend using this app if you don't already have one. There's lots of them on specifically holiday stress. I've done some in the past and they've really helped me, and I know they can help you. With that being said, I really hope some of these tricks helped you today not to be so stressed out during the holidays. If you have any more tips on how not to be stressed during the holidays, please feel free to leave them in the comments down below. Anywho, I'm your host Ava, and this has been the Saved by Grace podcast. If you have enjoyed today's episode, please like, comment, share, and subscribe. And we'll see you next time on the Saved by Grace podcast.